Okay, startups, small businesses, small startups faced a lot of uncertainty in 2025, all because of what was going on with the trade war, tariffs, economic uncertainty. So what can we expect for 2025? We're joined now by Abdullah Snobar, Executive Director of the DMZ and CEO of DMZ Ventures. Abdullah, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Roger.
I mean, I think a lot of that uncertainty is kind of carrying through. Of course, we've got Kuzma coming up and the economies, which way are we going to go with it? But I think there's also some reason for optimism.
There absolutely is. Look, I think for once, Canada and finally is thinking like a country again, and we're seeing massive opportunity for entrepreneurs and small businesses alike. With all the geopolitical tensions, the trade wars that are causing a lot of this uncertainty, I think Canada can actually now continue to look at how do we buy Canadian, how do we support Canadian, everything from groceries to software. You know, how do we think about choosing homegrown Canadian businesses to support, to really ultimately help build great Canadian jobs that are the backbone of this economy. So it is certainly looking up and up, and I think hopefully it's going to be a new phase for us to kind of see ourselves through the next year.
And to get ready for that, I mean, 2025 was challenging to say the least for many of these small companies and startups. Does it feel like they've retooled and now they're ready for what lay ahead?
Yeah, look, I think the mindset needs to change a little bit, to be quite frank with you. You know, uncertainty isn't a phase anymore. It's actually the operating environment. So, you know, the state of the markets, the government, the global economy, it's all unpredictable. So the mindset really needs to change. And we coined the term here at DMZ called the camel mindset, where, you know, 2026 needs to be the year where we actually reward business owners that can survive these downturns and these challenges that are going to exist and continue to exist in the economy, obviously, as we continue to look at the world and how it's evolving. So companies and startups need to figure out how to find a strategic balance of growth and profitability, sustain growth, which hopefully continues to be overnight success, and the mindset of, you know, growth by any means possible. It's about sustainable growth now and being more thoughtful in the approach. And then quality over quantity, and having a deeper focus over just flashy business ideas. So market leadership in 2026, I believe, means that proving you can last, not just launch a business, right? So it will be one to watch for sure.
Okay, and so what are some of the tools that they need heading into 2026, or what are some of the tools that you see coming in to make their their chances of success better?
Look, I don't want to be sound like I'm super repetitive, but we've talked about this on the show before as well. AI is the ultimate tool that needs to be leveraged by every business that exists. I know that a lot of folks are looking at AI as a tool that will likely, you know, that's going to kill businesses or replace small businesses. But small business owners who use AI will actually replace the ones that don't, quite frankly. And I think that's going to be a game changer for many in the space right now that are trying to understand, how do we become better at what we're doing? How do we respond faster to customer needs? How do we have smarter, more dynamic pricing? How do we forecast demand? How do we reduce manual work? And all that is leveraged by artificial intelligence and should be a part of the business as opposed to an afterthought. So, you know, letting business owners focus on customer needs and the product, and making sure that they're actually removing any administrative work and operational drag that is unnecessary and more of a cost. So that's probably one of the biggest tools that should be looked at in terms of considering how to run a business today relative to maybe where we were a couple of years ago.
And Shop Canadian is if you want to talk about Shop Canadian, there are so many incredible opportunities here when it comes to AI. We're still a hub. We're still a hotbed for it, aren't we?
We are, absolutely. And this is that's the best thing about Canada, that we are, you know, we have the godfather of AI. We are a hotbed for it. We've been able to do so much. There's a collective mindset around, you know, helping Canadians get ahead and be better. We're in a moment where I'd say it's the opportunity, and you know, all these things are happening around us should be the wake up sign and the signal to say, let's do everything we can to support small business and startups to get ahead and be the best version of themselves, not just at home here, but also globally. So pushing the boundaries a bit more, being able to double down on certain areas, and we've talked about this before as well, but looking at new verticals that are going to be strategic for Canada, including defense, which we're hearing all levels of government talk about quite intensely. Defense is going to be an emerging and a huge growth vertical for small business owners to think about. Billions of dollars are set to flow into this space. And when we consider what this means for any business, it's not just cybersecurity. It's also looking at it from a manufacturing lens, from apparel and textiles, from logistics, transportation, last mile delivery, warehousing, the whole gamut. So there's so many things and considerations to have in this space. And it opens up new opportunities and new pathways for small businesses to consider as they take this year ahead.
Okay, and I think we're going to have to wrap it up there. But Abdullah, thank you as always for joining us. Love to extend this conversation, but we're out of time.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Roger.
Abdullah Snobar, Executive Director of DMZ and CEO of DMZ Ventures.